Hi, I'm Krysti with Soulgineering, and I'm going to bring you the Retrograde Report for this week. The date is the 27th of January, 2017, and we're looking specifically at Venus today because Venus is entering this shadow period. So what does this shadow period mean? So what it means is when a planet is moving in its direct motion, and when it's about to go retrograde, there is a period of time called the shadow, which is when the planet moves backwards and then forwards. It's kind of redoing the same distance of sky. You know, if you think about, here's Venus, it's moving forward, 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 and now it's starting to move backward, and now it's starting to move forward again. We had a little period in time where it overlapped itself, and so we called that period of time the shadow. And so what's happening is the shadow is actually happening on Aries and Pisces. So Venus is going to be shadowing on the cusp of Aries and Pisces. These are very opposite signs. So we have Pisces, which is very compassionate, feeling, watery, boundaries are blurred in the areas of what we value and what we associate our pleasure with, getting our way, winning, getting what we want, what we desire. All of that is associated with Venus, okay? And so with Venus having a shadow period, which is a period of time that you might be revisiting and reevaluating, am I getting everything that I value in my life? Am I satisfied with my life? These are the kind of thoughts you may be experiencing during the shadow period. You know, there's so much going on below the surface in our relationships, for example. And some of these things might require our immediate attention because we realize they need to change. So feeling right now like we're not totally satisfied with what we have. And that means that it's going to allow us to change some of the things that we are currently doing in order to gain more satisfaction with our lives. And this is all just natural timing. We're supposed to go through these cycles of, you know, just feeling out what is it that I value and what is going on that is preventing me from reaching what I value. So it might feel like no matter how hard we try and whatever, no matter how much we do, we're not really feeling rewarded. So, but with the interesting thing here is that we're going from Venus being in Pisces, which means there's so much compassion. The love is all embracing, forgiveness. You can be seducible, and the boundaries are blurry when it comes to our desires. One thing that may happen in this is that we may allow ourselves to be made a victim of. So that's one thing. Though as Venus moves into Aries through the shadow, there is a kind of different energy that it is entering into, and that is just that more spontaneous, more direct. The chase is becoming very exciting. So we'll be starting to feel like we want to chase after what we want and what we desire. And we will not be interested in looking back in the past at all. We'll feel very comfortable with moving forward, and we're not apologetic. And our desires are very strong, but because we're in this shadow, all of this may be hidden and under the surface right now. You know, so you may be experiencing these thoughts privately and feel no need to share them, but you're just processing them right now. And so once Venus is fully like out of retrograde and in Aries, that's when all of this action will be taken in the direction of going after what it is you truly desire, you know, or if you're fulfilled and you have everything you want, really just maybe feeling like these feelings will subside you know, and that you're like, oh, I really do feel rewarded because I made some necessary changes in my mind in order to now take action into implementing these changes in my mind, putting forth the effort to maybe constantly appreciate that which is around you, just counting your blessings, but, you know, having to make that mental shift that maybe it doesn't matter how much you have and how much you're rewarded, you just are unhappy because you're unhappy and you haven't decided that you're worthy of this reward and of this happiness and all of these things, allowing yourself to receive these things. You'll make a mental shift that will say, I am worthy and deserving of love and of appreciating that which I have. So it's not just, you know, we're not feeling like we're satisfied. That's not the only thing. It's also like maybe because of our relationships or because of the things outside of us, it might be that we feel never satisfied because we are never satisfied with us. And that maybe that which we value is just not something that we as an individual resonate with. And so changing your value systems so that you are happy with yourself is another evaluation that may happen during this time, a very like healthy evaluation. Cool. So again, you might be hiding things right now. And that's part of the shadow, and that's part of these cycles. But we'll be coming into direct. Let's just take a look at the illustration here as we move forward in time. So we have Venus, of course, Pisces. This is all happening on the new moon, which is a really great time to be planting seeds because they will grow. So any kind of thoughts you're planting right now, they will become reality. So be really aware of your thoughts. So what we're doing now is we're just seeing Venus move through its cycle, through its shadow cycle. So I want you to take your attention towards Venus here. We're resetting to today. We're moving forward in time. So as we move forward, you know, this about February 26th, right? So now Venus is going to become stationary and then move backwards. That's why it's pink. So it's going to be in retrograde until the 15th of April. And coming out of its, again, another shadow period as it overlaps itself. And then at the May 16th is going to be going fully direct, not in shadow. And so that's when we can expect a lot of these things that we're experiencing and feeling right now internally in these areas of life to come out and make themselves present in our current reality. So that's looking, you know, mid-May. And at this time, we'll also have Jupiter retrograde, which will be really great for growth, like growing yourself and thinking about ways in which you can grow. So, you know, maybe you've taken action and now your life has changed and you're looking into yourself, how you can grow. Saturn being in retrograde, meaning that you will be putting a lot of limitations on yourself. So being aware of that is going to be very powerful, that in these areas you're wanting to grow, you may actually be putting limitations on yourself. So that's a little bit in the future. But for now, this is Krysti, and I'm again with Soulgineering. Feel free to subscribe. Every week we're putting out videos talking about where the planets are and what that means. So I hope you enjoy and have a great night, guys. See ya.